Hi, my name's John Widdowson. I'm a member of the Match Official Developer Team, and I'm here with Dusty Miller, Head of People and Culture from British Fencing. You may recognise Dusty from our masterclasses, has been supporting these for the last 18 months. As part of our conversation today, we're going to explore the concept that as human beings, our interaction and communication helps us develop others. As part of this conversation, we're going to consider who we are, how we connect, how we listen, consider and reply, and what would this look like in the refereeing world. But before we get started, what I'd like to do is ask Dusty to just share a little bit of why it is important we have people supporting others as part of the development process.
Oh, well, thank you, John, and thank you for inviting me along. It's a great opportunity to help people be the best version of themselves. So this series of learning is about exploring exactly that.
Dusty, thanks for joining me. Just share a thought with you. So, watching human beings have a conversation, two human beings, no roles, anything like that. I know that people take information away from that and develop it and build on those conversations. With that in mind, what would you say is the heart of good human interaction?
That's a great question. I think it's the notion of care for each other. I think there is an underlying need and requirement for us to connect on a human level, interact in such a way that helps us support each other in the conversation that we have.
Yeah.
And so it feels important to recognise that my role in the conversation is to be fully present.
Okay, so that's interesting in terms of your role. What would help with understanding what that role is in that conversation?
Knowing who you are, knowing your own journey, knowing what brings you to the conversation, why you're in the conversation, why you're connecting with another person.
Okay, so that's not necessarily role related or work related or anything else. That could be just you and I talking about a holiday, something like that. And that concept of who I am still plays a part?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely not role related.
Right.
It is about our experiences and what we've had and the interest and the want and the need and the desire to connect and to understand another person and ourselves within that.
Right. Sticking with that concept of ourselves, Dust, and I know there's probably a lot of big answers to this, but if we can make it a short answer.
Okay.
You've touched on a couple of things around life experience, helping to get that concept of who I am.
Yeah.
Do you think that's really important, something that we should consider in our interactions and our communication with other people, who we are?
Yeah. We've all been shaped by the experiences that we have, and so understanding those experiences feels really important, because our interactions with another human, another person, somebody that we're trying to work with potentially, or help or support, our knowledge and experience will be brought to the floor.
Yeah.
And so if we can understand where we've been and we can understand who we are, it helps us connect and share experiences and share stories, so that the listener or the person that you're working with can understand who you are and to better help them understand who they are.
Yeah. So there's a couple of bits in there that listening to you just want to consider in terms of this concept of who I am. Is it easy to be who we are? And also, is it easy to understand who we are? There's a couple of questions for you to consider, mate.
I think the short answer is no, it's not easy.
Right.
But it's important.
Okay.
And it's important to recognise that if I do understand who I am, if I do at least explore who I am, it helps me understand myself.
Yeah.
So who am I to me? And it feels important to understand who I am, where I've been, and why I am like I am, because it helps me connect with somebody on a human level and to help them develop, grow and nurture each other and others around them.
Do you think we do that naturally in terms of develop this understanding of who we are as part of our daily existence, and it's something we may not give any real thought to and it's just part of how we exist on the planet.
Deep question, John.
I I'm not messing about.
You're definitely in. My sense to answer that question would be, we're a different person every day.
Yeah.
We're shaped by the previous day's experiences. We're shaped by how we wake up. We're shaped by how we put our feet on the carpet in the morning.
Yeah.
What gets us out of bed in the morning, and what is our mindset? What is our verve for the day? So that shapes often our path through the day.
Yep.
And so, without wanting to overthink it, understand that each day we enter into the day, each time we enter into the day, should I say, we are shaped by how we feel in that moment or in those moments.
I've asked you a few belters. I'll try and calm down on this one, but would you say that spending time and thinking who I am is a really important part to consider for communication?
Yes, and I think it's helpful to think about who I am in this moment,
right?
Who I am, where I am, and why I'm here, and what is my purpose.
Yep.
And certainly when we're going into conversation with other people, and certainly when we have a role to play in those conversations, because it helps centre ourselves with who we are in order to best serve others.
So, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Have you got 2 or 3 tips that you could suggest we have a look at to consider this concept of who am I?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost is where am I at?
Yep.
Where am I currently here? What is my current mindset?
Yep.
That would be the first one. And then the second tip I would have is to understand the purpose of the conversation that I'm going to have.
Yep.
And especially if it's a deliberate conversation. If it's a happy accident, I find myself in a development space, then that's something different. But in the first instance, if you're going somewhere deliberately, who am I and how am I arriving? And the second one be, what is the purpose of me being here? That help?
Massively, Dust. Thanks for that.
Good.
Really appreciate it.